meeting now. I'd like to welcome everybody for coming tonight. We do have a slideshow presentation for you. I'm Miss Conley, and Miss McCorkle will also be presenting as well. We are both the teachers that will be doing the Plan B program. So we are sharing that responsibility, and we'll get into that more with the presentation, but that's why we're both here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and present. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what Plan B is. We're going to discuss the implementation and expectations of Plan B. We have a schedule for our Plan B students that are learning remotely. And then we do ask to hold all questions till the end of the presentation. So hopefully we'll be able to answer your questions throughout the presentation, but we'll have some time to answer any of your questions or concerns that you might have. Okay, so what is Plan B? Plan B are students who have selected the face-to-face instruction over virtual. Plan B is broken up into 3 groups. So make sure you know your cohort. If for whatever reason you don't know whether you are A, B, or C, make sure you contact your teacher. You should have gotten an email from the county. Also, make sure you have signed up for updates with the county and with Miss Livengood, because things can be changing day to day. So we try our best to communicate to you what's happening and all the procedures that are in place, but you can never have too much information in a situation like this, because we try to cover everything, but if you're hooked up to the county and Miss Livengood, then you'll be good to go. We do want to let you know we are taking as many precautions as necessary. We are doing temperature checks at carpool. So if you have elected to bring your child to school, you will be asked the COVID questions. They will take the temperature, and at that point, your child will be allowed in the school. And of course, no parents are allowed in the school, just for crowd control. Students riding the bus, once they are dropped off at the school, their temperature will be checked at school. If for whatever reason at that point they do not pass the temperature check, they will be taken to a separate room in the school, and then you will be contacted. If you are in cohort A, you're starting on Monday. That would mean the other cohorts are virtual, and we'll get into what virtual looks like for those friends. If you are cohort B, you are the week of November 2nd, so that's the next week, and then those other 2 cohorts are virtual. And then if you are cohort C, you are the week of November 9th, and again, those other 2 cohorts are virtual. And then the plan is, so far from the county, that November 16th, all students are face-to-face that have elected the Plan B protocol. So that's the plan for that. Ms. McCorkle, you want to do this? Mm-hmm.
So what is the expectation for face-to-face instruction? All students will be socially distanced in the classroom. We are bringing in desks and measuring, and we'll be setting that up this week. As Ms. Connolly mentioned, parents cannot walk children to class. They must drop off for social distancing reasons and safety concerns. Masks are required at all times. Ms. Connolly and I will rotate the virtual kids in Plan B so your child will see your teacher either in the morning or afternoon. So what that means is we are sharing the live instruction and remote instruction duties. Wednesday next week will be an asynchronous day like today. Monday and Tuesday, one of us will be teaching live in the morning while the other teaches remotely in the morning, and then we will switch in the afternoon. And we will do that for each day that your students are at school. So your student will see your assigned homeroom teacher at some point during each day. Right now, we have a maximum of 14 students in a classroom to allow for social distancing. There will be frequent washing of hands throughout the day and hand sanitizers. All of the subjects will be taught along with specials and social distance recess. So your children will continue to receive instruction in all of the subjects. Please inform your homeroom teacher how your child will be going home during Plan B so that we are prepared when carpool rolls around. Students must bring all supplies given to them by the county along school supplies. This includes Letterland notebooks, computers, along with charger, pencils, crayons, etc. Supplies should be in a baggie labeled with your child's name. And this is important. Your children will need their own water bottle, filled water bottle, because they will not be permitted to use the water fountains for safety reasons. You do not need to bring your whiteboards. We have a supply in the classroom.
And I'm going to click on this supply list just in case they did not get it earlier in the year. Just a little bit refresher, and then it'll be on the recording. So you can see here the supply list. Really the most important thing is that they have pencils, that they have erasers. We don't want their backpacks to be completely overfilled. They, crayons.
Ms. Connolly, I think you need to show that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Here we go. It's like class all over again.
It is just like class.
Here we go. Here it is. Okay, is it working now?
Yes.
Okay, yay. Okay, so here's the class list, just in case, the supply list, just in case you don't remember what it was. I think, and you chime in, Ms. McCorkle, if you have anything to say, but I think the main thing is that they have pencils, erasers, a crayon, crayons, a composition book. I wouldn't really expect for them to bring all of this stuff on the first day because I know that it's a lot. They can bring, the rest on the next day. But that's really the main thing. And then with the schools, what the school has issued, make sure you're bringing the computer along with the charger. And here's the optional stuff at the end.
And Ms. Connolly, did we decide that they were bringing their mathematics packet with them?
Yes, and they should bring that mathematic packet as well. All right, so I will stop sharing that, and now I will go back to present. And like we were saying, so they just told us today that they are encouraging students to bring their own device if they did not get one issued by the county. And if you choose to do that, make sure that you have a BYOD form on file. Of course, you don't have to do that, they're just requesting that if you do have a computer that you can bring to do that. It will make things easier. We're very limited on the computers because we have put out so much. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the Plan B learning remotely. So these will be our friends. For example, on Monday, cohort A is going to be here, and cohort B and C will be at home still remotely. So I'm going to go over what that will look like for them. Okay. This is what has been requested of us. They would like for us to continue our morning meeting with their homeroom teacher at 9:15. So they will log on to their homeroom teacher's Google Classroom at 9:15, and we will do our morning meeting along with our positivity project. Just trying to foresee on what's going to happen on Monday. I'm thinking it probably is not going to happen at 9:15, but we will do our best to do that. At 10 a.m. is when we plan for our remote learners to go ahead and they will do Letterland, reading, or writing with their remote teacher, which will either be me or it will be Miss McCorkle for the morning. They have already been added. Mine have already been added today, and then tonight I will get Miss McCorkle's class in. They will be added to a new Google Classroom that will be Plan B Remote Learning. So it will be separate from your homeroom teacher. It was really the only way that we could do it, where we could have this Plan B combined. So you don't need to worry about adding to your classroom. When your child goes in, there will be a Google Classroom that says Plan B Remote Learning. Then they will break at 11, as they always have. They will have a specials at 12:30, which I believe is going to be a recording, right, Miss McCorkle? Is that what you understood?
Yeah, I understood that it was going to be a video or recording of some type.
Okay, because the specialists are actually doing face-to-face here at school, and that's why they were unable to do a live meet with our remote learners. And they will find their recording onto their teachers' specials Google Classroom, just like how they have had for the whole first quarter. Then for our remote friends, math and science or social studies will start at 1 a.m. So at 1 o'clock, our Plan B remote students will sign on, they will get math, and they will get social studies or science with either me or Miss McCorkle. They did tell us that our friends that are doing remote learning will not be required as much live instruction. So it may not be as much just because we're kind of doing two jobs, but we are going to do as much as possible to make sure that your child is getting everything that they need for that day.
And Miss Connolly, the new classroom that we're setting up, correct me if I'm wrong, is to provide a link for all students to the live session, right? It is not where students will find their assignments, correct?
Exactly. It is strictly for the secured link for those remote friends.
And remote students will continue to go to their original Google Classrooms for assignments.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, look, I put it on there too. Remote learning assignments will be posted on your child's Google Classroom. And then, of course, as always, for the remote learning, make sure that when your student is doing the remote learning that they're bringing all the necessary supplies, which include the whiteboard that they have gotten, a dry erase marker, and of course, if they do not have that, a paper and a marker will work just as well so that we can see the work. Because at least what's happening with me, maybe not with you, Miss McCorkle, if they don't have their whiteboard or their marker, they try to write with a pencil, and we really can't see what they're doing. So even if they have a marker and a paper, that will work just fine.
Right. I encountered the same problem.
Okay. Okay. So that is the end of our presentation. Before we get questions, Ms. McCorkle, did I miss anything? Is there anything you'd like to add?
I cannot think of anything else. I mean, that was pretty thorough based on the information that we have. You covered it thoroughly.
Okay, so there's only 6 of us or 7 of us, so if you want to unmute and ask your question, we're happy to take any questions that we haven't answered.
I'd just like to remind you, please let us know what your child's plans for getting to school, like bus, walker, or carpool, so that we can be prepared come Monday.
I know I speak with Miss McCorkle when I say we're very excited to see the kids. It's going to be hard not to hug them or like touch them, but
It will be very hard. Yes. Hi, Tyson.
I have a question about the devices.
Yes, Miss McManus.
I'm not really planning on sending his device with them. I know that I don't know what to do about that. I don't want him to be left out because he doesn't have a device. I could send his device with him, but I prefer not to. So, is there a point where you'll know how much we'll be using those devices in the classroom?
So I think for us, we were mostly going to be using those devices for them to get on iStation and for them to get on Dreambox and on any of our downtime. I'm not even sure how much downtime we're going to have. But that's what I was basically going to utilize it for. Mr. Pinckney did say that they do have a small supply of devices. I don't really know that they would be missing out, Miss McCorkle. Would you think that they're...
No, we do have weekly goals for iStation and Dreambox, but those can be accomplished at home. The only drawback may be that they will have to sit and read a book or something during downtime instead, which they may not like, but it won't affect them academically.
Yeah. I totally understand. I really hesitated for my own kids when they wanted them to bring their devices. It kind of makes me, it's a lot of responsibilities. I totally understand that. I can't hear you. Oh.
Maybe you could use chat, type something in the chat.
For some reason, there's a lot of feed. I don't know why.
There's a lot of static. Yeah.
Hi, would you like us to email you how they're gonna go to school so that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Perfect.
Will lunch be served in the classroom or in the cafeteria?
Okay, good question. So they have said that lunch is going to be served in the cafeteria, and it's just going to be us, I think, in the cafeteria. I think they have it all staggered out, so it will definitely be socially distanced. There's only going to be 50 kids, I think, in the whole school. So, and they have all of that staggered out. So lunch will be served in the cafeteria. Breakfast is going to be served, from what I understand, it's going to be served in the classroom. And they're not doing, it's all free. Everything is free because they don't want the kids to have to take out their lunch numbers and input into a machine or everything. So lunch is free, breakfast is free.
And it sounds like all of the kids from cohort 2, so there'll be some from Miss McCorkle's class and some from Miss McComley's class, and that'll make up the 14 max that are in one classroom.
Correct.
Okay.
And all the desks are face forward. It's all going to be socially distanced in the classroom. Of course, masks will be worn. So constant cleaning throughout the day, constant washing of hands. I think they've given us a long list of things that will be for safety reasons.
Mm-hmm. And on Monday, we will be going over all the routines with the students and ensuring that they understand everything. We'll be doing a lot of practicing on Mondays.
Yeah. And so there's a question here. Will some of the supplies they send in stay in the school, or do they bring everything home every day? So what will happen on Monday is they should have a baggie with their supplies, and those supplies are going to stay with them for the entire week. And then at the end of the week, they will take those supplies home. That's what you understand, right, Ms. McCorkle?
Yes. They'll have an assigned cubby to store their items in.
Hmm. Well, I was expecting more people. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Well,
I hope we've answered your question.
Record, so
Yeah.
recording up.
I know Ms. McCorkle and I have been really brainstorming a lot, just trying to, and we've been working with other teachers, just making sure that we're covering everything. I know that Monday's probably going to be for my cohort A friends, which I don't think any of them are on today. I know it's going to be interesting. But I feel like we've covered everything. I really do. We have like a 75-page document of all of our procedures and everything.
I noticed, Miss Russell, that you just joined. We're wrapping up the meeting, but I want you to know that we're recording this and we'll be posting it for you to view.
And if you guys during the week or even next week or whatever, if you have any questions, just let us know, and we'd be happy to answer them. Because I know things are probably going to pop up that we haven't even really thought about. So we welcome questions or suggestions or anything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, Jacob.
I can't wait to see them.
I know. I know. It's going to be so hard to be like,
I know. Yes, there is, Miss Russell was asking about the supplies, and where is that link? Where can she find that link? As to
I'm going to send a slideshow. I'll send the slideshow to you, and all those are in there, Miss McCorkle. I'm going to post the slideshow to my Google Classroom and the recordings.
okay.
And the list is on there. But you know, the main thing is pencils, and they have to bring their computer if it was issued to them, a charger that goes with it, math stuff.
I have a question just about like classroom library type thing. Like I know usually kids kind of can go grab a book off of a classroom library shelf, or they kind of have like their books for the week. How do y'all think like reading, like independent reading books are going to go this year?
I think what I'll probably do is just create some packets, because we can't have the students going in and out of the books. So I'm thinking they're COVID free right now. I may just divide the books up so that everyone can get like a grab bag. I don't know, Miss Connolly may have a better idea and we may come up with something better, but off the top of my head, we will make sure that students are not touching the same books or exchanging the same books.
So that's a great question. So Ms. McCorkle, we could go ahead and make their baggies for their books now. And that way on Monday it will be ready to go. And then when we get the next cohort, we'll make the baggie prior to that. Because I think the library waits like 3 days or something like that. So that's a great question. I'll add that to my to-do list.
Are there any other questions? You're always welcome to email if you think of something later. Can they bring their own lunches? You could, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're still going to go with the class to the
Right.
cafeteria,
Right.
just like normal. If a student misses class because of sickness, can they join virtually?
I don't see why not.
That's a great idea. Yes.
Yeah. It's a benefit of this plan, right?
It is the benefit, isn't it? Education every day, whether you're sick or not.
The older grades, they are planning to start them later, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe, if I'm thinking correctly, I believe when we are in full session, which is supposedly November 16th, where all 3 cohorts are here, is when they will start phasing the upper grades in the same cohort where they're doing it in 3 groups in that slow process as well.
Hi, I meant like with their virtual learning. So like I have a 4th grader. So like I know right now he has to log in at 9:15, but if I have to drop off Noah, by between 8:45 and they told us that there would kind of be some time with the screening process and everything that I may not get back home for him to log in at 9:15 on time. So do you know if they're thinking about maybe them having like a 9:30 start time, so that way for people that do have the younger grades, they have to drop them off at school, they have time to travel back home, so they log in on time and not be counted as absent?
I don't know anything about a later start time. I know, but if you were to drop off Noah, are you wondering what would happen if he was dropped off later?
Right. So Noah, I know they said you can start dropping off at 8:45. So we have to go through the line and the process and everything. But my 4th grader, if he's supposed to be on his computer at 9:15 to start his class, like that's going to be a challenge for some of us that have the ones that have to come in and just still take the other one back home. But it's just me with both of them. So I was kind of wondering if they had thought about how that would work for the ones that still have to be virtual, but also have to drop off the ones that have to go in person.
That's a question I can't answer right now. I would need to find out and get back to you. I don't think they're planning on having a later start time.
So the morning is just a morning meeting and the positivity project. So like in terms of academics, your 4th grader isn't really missing any kind of academics. And he won't be counted absent. He will be counted, and I don't even think we do tardies, do we, Miss McCorkle?
No,
You're there. So, in terms of academics, I don't think that he's going to miss much. I would suggest if you're doing carpool, I would suggest maybe coming early on Monday, just because I think it's going to be, we're all new to this and we're all trying to do it as efficient as possible. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think we have to get our attendance in by 11:30.
Yeah.
And I think if they're there, if we can see them before that time, they're good.
Yeah.
So,
Ms. Russell, I work for the school also, and I think this is a perfect example of something that we don't know, that we haven't thought about it until the question's asked. So I think that's such a fantastic question. So I would encourage you to reach out to your fourth grade teacher to let them know the situation. And it may be that they take that back to the grade level and they think. And they may keep the same start time. I don't know. But you're not the only person in that situation like that. So like that's such a good question to make them at least discuss. So
yeah.
sorry for butting in.
No,
Thank you.
No, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And as a single mother myself, I can appreciate your situation. Yeah.
Great questions.
I don't know if it's too early to ask about the November 16th start date where all the students come in. There's a 14 kid max for the weeks of the cohorts. Is that true for the November 16th start date?
So the November 16th start date, I don't know that it could be socially distant because I have 20 kids as it stands. And Miss McCorkle, how many do you have?
20.
I mean, we'll do our best to space out, but yeah.
My plan is to make it more socially distant than it has been in the past. I'm bringing in desks instead of tables. I don't know. I won't be able to do the 6 feet, but for that, when we transition into that plan A, they will be farther apart than normal, and I'll still be limiting social contact between the students.
I think a lot of this is just going to be a test and run and just see really how well all this works, and then make accommodations if we need to, directed by the county. But great question.
And I would think, does the county require mask wearing still at that time? I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would because 3-5 is transitioning in.
Yeah, I would currently want that in my classroom.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be more populated in the school because then 3-5 is coming in. So really, lots of things are going to change. Our schedules are probably going to change to accommodate this extra 3-5 coming in.
And the cleaning routines will remain the same. They'll be very diligent about cleaning.
Yeah, they've told us they'll be cleaning the shared bathrooms in the hallways 4 times a day.
4 times a day.
The students will be using, if they have a bathroom in the classroom, they'll be using that one, so it's only one at a time. The bathrooms are spaced out. I think they've X'd out some of the stalls, so.
My students are going to get hand sanitizer all the time. And donations are appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah. Meeting.
my preschooler has an app where we do the accept that we um, the list of questions they will ask at drop off. You know, I guess that's verbal at Bar Creek.
So, so in carpool, they will be asking the COVID questions to every carpool rider, and then if it's denied, then they have to go with their parent. If you're riding the bus, you're supposed to be filling out like a bus attestation, or actually, I think it's everybody has to fill some kind of attestation saying that they are following the COVID rules, that they are taking temperatures, and they're supposed to sign it, I think, and send it to the county. It's not really something we're monitoring, but obviously if it becomes a problem with a child that's sick all the time, then we have that to refer back to. But really, every kid that is entering the school is going to be asked the COVID questions and get a temperature check. But as a parent, there's some form, right? They were talking about that, right?
Yeah, there's
supposed to fill out.
Yeah, that was
thing.
part of my question too, because I assume that, I guess it was one of the many emails and texts from the county. And click this link and click that link, and so yeah, I was surprised I hadn't seen anything directly from the school about that form, but the form does say to return it to your child's school, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know for my own personal kids in middle school, I know I got that form and I sent it to their teacher. But I think you had to be signed up with the Wake County text messages or emails, and then you received it. But I don't know if Miss Livington sent it out or not. Will specials be in the classroom or the specials room? Okay, so for our face-to-face friends, the specialists are coming in. They will receive the same specialist teacher for the entire week, just to limit contact, but they will get all 5 specials. So if we had the PE teacher come in, he would still be teaching art and music and all of those other ones face to face. And then, of course, our virtual friends, our remote friends will get the recording, some 20-minute recording or whatever it is to be done remotely. So face-to-face friends will get that specials daily.
Right. Each grade level has been assigned one specials teacher to teach all of the special subjects.
Okay, so you did get the form, Ms. Broley, an email because we had signed up for the bus. Okay, so it did get sent out. Okay, but not carpool, I guess, because they're right there. They're going to do it. They'll send you home with your parents if they're right there. From transportation department, yeah. You're probably right. I get so many emails too. I can't remember where they come from. I don't know if it's me as a parent that's getting them or me as a teacher.
Yeah, you're getting double.
Oh my God.
How are your children feeling about returning? Are they excited? Are they nervous?
I am excited.
Good. Okay, yay!
We are too.
I'm glad Nova's excited. Awesome. I'm glad. We are going to make it, yes. We are going to make it as positive an experience as we possibly can for them.
Yeah. Oh, they'll be totally fine. There's going to be finding the classrooms. There's going to be people all over the school directing exactly where to go. So tell them not to worry. That everybody knows that we are here. They've got the specialists everywhere. They've got the IAs that spread out all through the school. So he'll know exactly where to go. He'll be fine.
Yeah. And we'll be waiting to greet them in our doorways. So.
Yeah.
For kindergartners that were at Briar Creek last year, you can just also tell them to go down the same hallway that they went down to get to the kindergarten rooms, and both Miss McCorkle and Miss Connolly's class are on the left side of the hall right before the kindergarten classroom. So if you make it to a kindergarten classroom, you've gone too far, and they're on the left side. So it'll feel very familiar to them.
That's a good question. The hallway is kinder. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that.
I used it last year as a kindergarten IA, so these are my babies.
Do they need to bring those materials that we had to pick up for them virtually? So like they need to bring like those packets and everything that we had to pick up from the school?
They do need to bring in their math packets because we will be using that for sure. And their devices and pencils and paper, markers,
Crayons.
crayons.
I'll get to see the first day.
Yeah.
If we so Noah, we didn't do the sign up for the laptop from the county. We just used our own. So would he be able to use a laptop there, or does he really have to bring his own personal one from home?
What we were told is to ask parents, if possible, to bring the devices in. We do have a very limited supply, but not enough if a lot of students don't have devices because we sent them all out. So if you're willing to allow Noah to bring it to school, that would be preferred. We would understand if you didn't want to do that. We will be having students do iStation and Dreambox devices during the day, but that is something that he can do at home if he doesn't have a device here.
Okay.
Yes, we're done. We are done with Q1 math packets. And they can do that in their spare time if they didn't do any of those worksheets. We have moved on to Q2, so or you can recycle them. Thank you all for coming out and asking the questions and helping us think and go through this process. I know it's for all of us, it's a little scary, but at the same time, I feel like we have a good plan, and I feel like we've collaborated really well together, along with the other first grade, the virtual teachers. So I feel like we've done really well with planning.
First grade has a good team.
Yeah.
We really do.
And we have great students.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You are welcome.
And I'm going to stop recording.